What's good, YouTube? Akil here, back with another video, and today I'm taking you guys on another trip to the thrift. And in today's trip to the thrift is definitely a compilation of the past maybe 3 or 4 days, but I got a lot of heat in today's video. So if you guys haven't already, hit that like button because it definitely helps the channel grow. Cop some merch, got the consistency tees on deck. Make sure you guys use code consistency10 for 10% off your order. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so first thrift of the day, and I came across a ton of these Japan video games. I haven't sold any Japanese video games in the past, but once I scanned them using the eBay app, I seen that they were selling for a little more profit than just some of the regular US games. For instance, that Call of Duty game, I think that one sold for 20 bucks already, but some of these other Japanese exclusives were selling for like 25 to 30 bucks. So I'm definitely going to grab all of these up, especially since they were only 2 bucks a piece. And this one was actually brand new and sealed, and I seen some other Japanese sellers sell these for like 50 bucks if they were brand new. So I listed mine pretty expensive as well, and we'll just see how long that takes to sell. Next, I came across some of these running shoes, but they were pretty dirty, but still a solid brand to be on the lookout for. I believe these are called McLeod, so if you guys see those for a decent price, pick them up, but I ended up passing on them since they were so stained. And I never seen this jersey before, but just checking the embroidery, it was really thick, really solid, and I figured I might as well check the comps. And these were selling for like 50 to 60 bucks. This one, of course, isn't brand new, but I still listed mine pretty high since I'm the only seller with that right now. Next, came across this pair of Doc Martens, and since these were made in England, I wasn't able to find like exact comps for this shoe, but you know, at the end of the day, made in England Doc Martens always sell for a decent amount of profit. And since these were in such good condition, they were asking 20 bucks. I figured why not? And I'm going to list mine on the higher end for about 110 and see how long those take to sell. Next is a new brand for me, American Giant. I believe this is a women's hoodie, and the men's hoodies sell for just about the same, but these women's hoodies sell for around 50 to 60 bucks. So I'm definitely going to grab this one up. It looked like it was almost brand new without tags, but I could tell that it was worn, so just gonna go ahead and list this as pre-owned. So if you guys come across some of these hoodies, definitely list them on the higher end because they usually sell no less than 50 that I've seen in the last 3 months. Next up, came across some of these power lines from Netgear, and these basically are just like, I guess they improve or just speed up your overall internet connection. I never kept any of these, but I sell a ton of them, and since this one is brand new and sealed, I should be able to get at least 40 to 50 bucks for this one. And as you guys can see, only $7.50, so that was a no-brainer. Next, came across this Nintendo Wii. They didn't have the genuine AV cables, but I tell you guys all the time, anytime I can come across Nintendo Wiis and they're complete with the sensor bar, I always grab those up. And the good thing is I have a ton of like those AV cables. The Nintendo AV cables, got a ton of those. So I'm just going to swap out that aftermarket one. Make sure that I use some glue gun to erase that marker on the front, and I'll be good to go. I usually sell my Wiis for about 80 bucks. Next, this was, I had no clue what this was, but something just told me to check this out, put the model number on there. And once I seen how much this was selling for, I was blown away. This was just like a charger for, I believe it was for like a wheelchair. And these were selling for like 90 bucks. I'm definitely grabbing that one up. Just going to clean it up a little bit. Of course, I plugged it in and the light came on. So for me, that just shows that it works. So I'm good with that. Next, came across some more McLeod shoes. These didn't have any insoles in them, but the colorway on these were really dope. My wife probably would have loved these, but not her size, so definitely going to be selling these. And the good thing is they already sold. The same day that I listed them, sold it for 60 bucks. And of course, I charged shipping for this one as well, so that was a really good flip. Next, came across this PS3, and this one is, I believe this one is the backwards one. It might not be the fat backwards one, but nonetheless, these usually sell for a ton of profit, anywhere upward between like 150 to about 200 based on the condition. This one had some cosmetic flaws, so I'm not going to be able to list it for too much money, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to list it for over 100 bucks for sure. And this one, after I tested it out, I was nervous about it, but I tested it out once I got home and it actually did work. So definitely happy with that purchase. And I usually don't get PS3s that cheap, so that was kind of a surprise. So next up, had to check out some of these thrift stores in Scottsdale, and I went to basically the Salvation Army, and they had a bunch of these brand new with tags, these painter pants, and they were in pretty good sizes because I know for the most part larger sizes always sell better on eBay, and they were still kind of pricey, but some of these were selling for about 30. Some people were even getting closer to 40 bucks for them. So I just took a chance on them, grabbed them all up, and the woman in the back said they're probably going to put out some more later, but I'm not in Scottsdale often, so I just took what I could get. So now back on my side of town, and I ended up grabbing up this Garmin GPS, and I've sold a couple of these in the past, but this one was actually complete with everything, even had some of the software CDs in there. So I'm definitely going to be selling this one at least for 40 to 50 bucks at very least. Usually anytime I find these, they don't have anything that you guys see here, such as like the manual and stuff like that. And somebody even like wrote down the instructions on how to use this, typed it up really nicely. So that should hopefully add a little bit of value to this, but probably not. But end of the day, I'm just going to list that for about 40 bucks. Next came across something from Bose. It's been a little while since I was able to find any Bose things, but I'm definitely still on the lookout for these types of stuff. I believe this was just a subwoofer for the Companion 3 speakers, so I'm just gonna grab those up. I come across a ton of the Companion 3 speakers when I'm in these thrift stores, so I might actually hold off on listing this one. I might actually just wait till I find some of the speakers and just pair it together and sell it as a bundle. Next up, came across another PS3, and this one, as you guys can see, had some flaws. Looked like it was cracked or something like that, but ended up passing on this one only because of the visible flaws. Didn't really want to waste my time testing this one out. Drop a comment if you guys would have grabbed that one up. For me, even if it did work, that particular model of PS3 doesn't sell for that much money, so I just passed on it. Here were some Belkin desktop cards. Even though these were all brand new and sealed, and I think they were only asking like $1.50, they weren't selling for much money at all on eBay. I think the last sale was $8, so we passed on that. And this same modem sells for right around 20 to 25 bucks on eBay. So since they were asking so much money for this one, I had to pass on that one as well. But then checked out a different side of the store, came across this this DYMO label writer. It didn't have the charger for this one, but not the charger, didn't have the power supplies for this one, but it is what it is. I have one at home, as you guys see in some of my videos, so I'll still be able to test it out. Hopefully the same power adapter works, but for $6.50 I figured it was worth the risk. Next up, came across a really dope brand that you guys need to know about. This brand was Bruno Magle. They're more known for like their dress shoes and stuff like that, but as you guys can see, the quality of the leather on these sneakers were really high, so I definitely had to grab these up. And the good thing is that these were actually in my size, so I'm gonna enjoy these for a little bit, get some wears out of them, clean them up eventually before I sell them, and I should be able to get at least 50 bucks for these, because other sellers weren't able to get that much money. But I'll probably price mine a little higher and just wait till the right buyer comes. Next, came across some of these boots from Johnston & Murphy. Definitely not a brand that I usually pick up, because the brand usually just takes a really long time to sell. But as you guys can see, the downside with these boots is just the lacings. The laces were already kind of torn and kind of messed up, so then they were asking 15 bucks, so I ended up passing on them. Next, came across this pair of shoes. Can't really pronounce the name. I guess they're called Subo. But the thing is with these, they have a terrible resale on eBay. It's an expensive shoe, but it just doesn't sell for that much on eBay. So they were asking like 17 bucks, and of course had to pass on those. That's probably what I would have got for them on eBay. But this was a nice surprise. Came across a pair of Edmonds. Usually don't come across this brand that often anymore, but these were in pretty good shape. Probably just need some leather cream and a nice little buff into these, and these should be good to go. My main thing when it comes to sourcing dress shoes is that I just make sure that there's not too much heel drag, no holes or anything like that, and I usually flip those for a decent amount of profit. Next was this pair of Beckett Simone shoes. I actually worked with this brand in the past, so I'm definitely familiar with this brand. Definitely some high quality stuff, and those should sell for right around 60 bucks as well. And those are just a pair of Echo shoes, so I put those back. Next up, had to check out the hat section, since I was able to come across some good hats in the last trip to the thrift. And this hat is more like a Western hat, more like that boho style. The brand on this one is Resistol, and I've sold this brand a few times in the past. Usually always get around 50 to 60 bucks in this type of condition, so definitely grabbing that one up. Alright y'all, that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit that like button. It definitely helps the channel grow. Shout out to everybody that's been copping the consistency tees. I definitely appreciate the support, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing. Only for the winner. Move just to keep from cooling. Like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now